Today we're going to talk about my meditation practice and why it's so important to me, but also just meditation as a whole. I wanted to talk about the disruption. So I'm really pleased that my animals are actually making so much noise right now. They're down here playing. Here they are. And this is a noise that I have to deal with most of the time when I am trying to meditate. Half the time, I should say, not all the time. And what I've done is, instead of seeing it as a way of it's difficult, I see it as a way of supporting myself to go deeper in the practice. So right now, because we're making this video, I'm going to ask the dogs to quieten down. Hey guys, you need to stop that for a minute, please. Now, sometimes I will ask them, depending on what's happening in my mind, but someone brought to my attention the other day that it was very difficult for them to meditate because it's not quiet where they are. Quite often people think meditation, you need to have a quiet space and you need to not worry about distraction, but there's all ways to deal with distraction. So right now, I'm just going to pick up my little puppy and I'll just hold him for a little bit so we can keep talking. And it's really important to me that this video is very raw and very rugged so that you can really understand that meditation is about how to find peace in yourself regardless of what's happening in the outside world. Not trying to make everything perfect, but to make the space within your heart perfect, to make the breath, the awareness you have, the inner journey inside. That's where the perfection lies. That's where the peace lies. So being able to go into that place of peace, even when you're trying to kind of, deal with life's difficulties, like my dogs playing and making so much noise when I'm trying to make this video today. So day 2, so hopefully you did some of the practice from yesterday and you've just done some of those breaths, those deep breaths. Today what I wanted you to do is I want you to just become aware of how you're feeling right now in this moment. You might have noticed that listening to my dogs growling at the start of the video might have annoyed you. You might have felt like, oh, she's not professional, or some sort of conversation in your head might have happened. Be aware of those conversations. Be aware of how you're feeling. And now what I want you to do is just take yourself back to your breath. So if you're standing or sitting, it doesn't matter, but I just want you to take a moment to just feel where you are, however you're sitting, and then move around until you can get yourself into a comfortable position. So whether that's I'm putting both feet on the floor because I'm sitting in a chair. If you're sitting cross-legged, maybe you might need to sit on a pillow. If you're lying down, maybe you just need to move around a little bit. But just get to a place where you just feel that, even if you're standing, you can stand on your feet and just really gently release the rest of your body. Just get to that place where you get that sweet spot of calm, gentleness. Just go into that place for a minute. And then while you're there, while you're in that sort of place where you feel like, oh yeah, this is a good place to rest, I want you to just, again, place your hand on your heart space and then one hand on the belly and concentrate on the space in between. Just take a gentle, deep breath in between those two spaces and breathe deeply down and then out. Take another conscious breath in and out. Take another conscious breath in and out. Just sinking your mind right down into your body, feeling with every breath in and out, allowing your body to just relax a little bit more and a little bit more. Breathe down deeply. Breathe again, deep breath in through the nose and out through the nose. Breathing in again through the nose and out through the nose. Notice with every breath in and out how your body becomes more and more relaxed. And notice how your mind just switches off just an ever little little bit. Just keep practicing that a little bit more, breathing in and out, in and out, feeling the space in between your hands, noticing your belly rising and falling. And with any of the sounds in your room and the spaces around you, just notice them, but don't let them bother you or distract you in any way. Just bring your awareness back into yourself. And in this practice, we can learn to find the peace within, regardless of what's happening on the outside world. In my background here, I can hear a dog in the distance. I can either have my mind get frustrated that it's happening, or I can take a deep breath down into my belly and just feel my peace anyway, and let the sounds of the external world just drift away a little bit. And now there's a plane going ahead, overhead, and I can just breathe down into the center of my belly, right down into my sitting bones. Breathe in through the nose and out through the mouth, and just release down anything that is distracting you. Just let it be there, but just bring your awareness back to yourself. You could hear lots of noise around your environment, lots of animals making lots of noise. Could be kids playing in the background, could be a lawnmower, a siren. Whatever that is, just let that be on the outside. Bring yourself back to your breath. Just breathe deeply down into the belly and out. And then when you're ready, open your eyes. And what I want you to do now is become aware of how you feel after doing that little bit of breathing, even through the noises that were around in your environment, in my environment. Did you find a sense of peace? Because if you can learn to meditate around noise, and not in a sanctuary necessarily, but it can be anywhere. You can meditate. Don't meditate while driving, or operating machinery, all that obvious things, doing an operation on a patient or something. But meditating, you can do it standing up, you can do it walking, just awareness of the breath, bringing yourself down to a slowed state of being. It's very, very fantastic and helpful. And also there will be a chattering brain, but your brain, you don't want to get your brain to stop, because that's what your brain does. What you want to do is attach yourself from the dialogue in your brain, so that you're not listening to it as much, that you're actually getting to a point where you can hear your breath more than you can hear your thoughts. And that's really what you're looking at, is where you put your attention. So your thoughts are still going and they'll be around, but you don't have to get upset with them. You can just listen to them and keep your attention to your breath. It takes practice, and you're not going to be able to do it probably for a while, but you just persist, and eventually one day you'll be like, oh, wow, I didn't get so upset over my over my thoughts today. So that's probably enough information for today, and just try and do this practice again sometime throughout the next 24 hours and see how you go. It's really about just taking yourself back into that space of self, breathing down deeply, and just noticing how you're feeling, coming back to yourself, regardless of if there's thoughts in your head or noises around the room. Just breathing down deeply into yourself. And this practice will help you eventually in your life, so that when you're having an argument with somebody, or people are yelling around you, or difficult stuff's happening, you can bring yourself back to your breath, breathe deeply into your belly, bring yourself into a state of peace, and magically the thing that's so difficult to deal with becomes easier. So I hope that that's helped you for today, and I'll see you tomorrow on day 3. Thank you for joining me. Bye.